Back again. I've got my hour. Definitely a little later in the morning. Being a full-time nurse, home keeper, animal slave, property caretaker, and working. She's slowly getting better, but we screwed up. I'm not medication wise in the head at all. When we left the hospital, got home, and all we had was like Tylenols here and some leftover painkillers from in the past, and they totally forgot to give us a prescription for painkillers. So you can imagine the hell we've been going through here. Shitty. But anyway, we're plugging away. Now, plugging away. I ended up staying up until 1 in the morning working on my book last night again. I've taught myself how to do everything. I can't stand being hostage to anybody or anything for lack of knowledge. It drives me bonkers. I just don't like it. So I teach myself how to do everything when I can. And I finally figured it out. It took me forever, but I finally figured out how to make the book fit and do all the proper... I'm not familiar with all the terms. The margins, the gutter, font size, text size, spacing, footer, header. And then you plug it in, and then it comes back when you review it, and then it says, no, you got to change this, you got to change that. We suggest you change it to this. But the wording they use is different than the wording on Google Docs. So then you take my brain that doesn't know anything about either one, and then you try to make sense of it when one's speaking one language, to use that language to go over to the other document, and that document isn't speaking the same language. And then you don't know either one of the languages. So try being in that position. So, but I get frustrated and stubborn. And I ended up staying up to 1 in the morning, and I figured it out. I just got to get the cover fit properly, and it's done. It's freaking done. No, it's not any Sasquatch. There's no Sasquatch topics in the book. It's all about hunting and my hunting past stories, tips, knowledge from day one. Wrote it all out myself. There you go. That's what I did. Now, let's hear some people, shall we? A quick note. So I was quite the email yesterday. Obviously, I haven't had time to listen to it or read it again, but there's a lot of things in there that could possibly absolutely mash up. Right? I remember that. I did glance at the comment section for a minute. And one thing I've noticed in life, and it's tough for humans to do, it's a strong characteristic, it's when somebody, and many of the people watching this channel are absolutely guilty. Now listen to me. I'm not being insulting. I'm just reading the writing clear in front of me. So let's just say you get a topic like this frustrating, confusing one that we've decided to tackle together here, and you're trying to come up with answers. Right? It's very, very hard because we have been built to not be able to have answers. A lot of them. That's a fact. So we have to battle through that. Then every once in a while, you get somebody share something and it makes us all go, whoa. Right? And then on the other side of the screen, you'll get the audience. And a lot of you will go, that's horse shit. That person's so full of shit, he's lying, blah, blah, blah. That's not true. Which that is what we try to prevent with saying each day, take from it what you will or leave it. Now, here's what I'm getting at, and this is innocent. There's no insults here. I'm just relaying, I'm reading clearly what's going on. Somebody comes out with a whole large share. They claim to have studied for many years, be in a certain position that not many of us are in. I don't know if that's true or not. My gut probably knows so. And they share away. Now, a lot of stuff they share, not just yesterday's email, but a lot of emails previous. A lot of items that people share is coming from many years of looking into it. Whereas I have a funny feeling, a lot of people here don't even take 10 minutes to look into anything. Don't even take 11 seconds to look into various topics and facts and routes that the people provide here in an email to figure it out for themselves. They just don't. They just sit there and then bark away. That's bullshit. Okay, so what I'm saying is, if you have it in you to listen to someone come forward with knowledge on any topic, I don't give a shit what topic it is, and then you have the confidence to sit there, type away and say, nope, they're lying, that's not the way it is. Okay, well, finally, thankfully, thank God you're here. You are finally here, and you can boldly tell us who is right or who is wrong. Now you have to supply us with the correct answer then. And receipts. You see what I'm getting at? And I'm not being a dick. I'm just, this is common sense. So it would be like me. You guys share something with me and I sit here in front of the screen and go, you're so full of shit. That was so ridiculous. Okay, Steve, if you can say that with confidence, then obviously you know the correct answer without a doubt. You better share it with us next after making that bold statement of somebody else's full of shit. See what I'm getting at? So, to all the people out there who will, with confidence, post up, that person's lying, that person's not telling the truth, that's not the way it is. If you have it in you to do that, then obviously you have the correct detailed answer and the knowledge. Share it up. Or shut up. Do you know what I mean? It can't be more clear. I mean, that's absolute common sense, what I'm delivering. So, try to, although maybe it's a character flaw has been built in with us, I don't know, but in the future, I don't give a shit who emails in, what they email in. If you can't wrap your melon around it, and if you will not throw down the time it'll take to investigate all the alleged facts to share with us, well, I guess you're not in the game. You're not even in the game. You're not even in the parking lot. So you probably do not have the platform to be able to dictate to tens of thousands of people that's not right. Without offering up, okay, well, what is right then, Skippy? You got our attention. Tell us what's right if you can boldly tell us what isn't. There you go. Hence, take from it what you will leave it. So, as an example, me, myself, and I don't think I've ever gone on to any platform anywhere and heard somebody speaking on a topic like this, similar, without me knowing, and then I've never felt knee-jerked in my life to comment somewhere and blow a gasket and tell somebody I don't even know. I don't know what they've done to find out what they know, and then just blatantly blowing a gasket and saying, you're so full of shit, you're right out to lunch, blah, blah, blah. I don't have that. I've never even done that. I wouldn't even think of doing that. All right, there you go. Obviously, I've only had a few hours sleep a night for maybe a week, and I hope I made sense. I'm pretty sure I did. Take from what you will or leave it. Try not to show the world you're a loose cannon without common sense. And if you have the correct answer and the receipts, when it comes to alleged facts somebody's sharing here, we've got a wide open stage with millions of people right here. Bring it. Bring it. But if you're going to stand in the crowd and scream bullshit without anything else, you're looking really stupid. And that's not being insulting. I'm telling you, for you to get better. You're looking very stupid when you do that. Now, here we go. This is titled, Two Gray Forest People Standing on the Road in Front of Me, number 2. You asked questions for them. Number 3, and 2, what the F things that happened fishing and hunting. This sounds like it's going to get interesting. I was archery hunting on state game land and nothing was moving. So I decided to work my way out and stopped at the edge of the pines on the side of the Gaswell Road. There were 2 main game trails across there. It was getting closer to dark. I thought I would stand there till dark. It wasn't long, and in my head, I heard the word bear. Came out of nowhere. It was weird. A long, drawn-out bear. Like the being that put it in my head wasn't sure if it was saying it right. I didn't see any bear, so this is odd to me. I stepped out from the cover of the pines onto the road to see 2 gray Sasquatch. One standing on the road, and the other was on all fours, walking away from me. He wasn't far, maybe 60 yards. As he was walking away on all fours, he looked over his right shoulder, and I swear he smiled at me. He was not in a hurry at all. Still on all fours, took about 5 or 6 steps until he was in front of the other one, turned right, and stood up as he turned toward me. Looked over his shoulder and backed up and stood next to the other one. There, they were standing shoulder to shoulder. Me, as I stepped out thinking bear, I put my bow over my head to make myself look bigger, and soon realized that ain't no bear. As I lowered my bow, I was in awe to see these huge beings. All I could think was they were blocking my way out, and now I have to clear around this huge patch of pines to get to my truck. One on the right was about 4 feet taller than the red brush, and it was 6 feet, and the other one was 2 feet taller, so I'm guessing 10 and 12 feet tall. They filled the single-lane well road shoulder. Shoulder to shoulder. Massive. At no time did they make me feel uncomfortable. They just turned and walked into the apple orchard, snapping off trees all the way through there. I haven't hunted there again, not because of them. I've hunted my whole life. Now, the 2 WTF moments. My brother and I were fishing for steelhead at the mouth of a creek on Lake Erie this past spring. There was a slight bend in the creek with a nice hole with about 30 fish. Well, I'm not much of a group fisherman. There were 4 guys and my brother fishing that hole, so I sat up top watching them catch fish. Well, I felt like something was watching us. I looked over, out the mouth of the creek, and there was a round, white disc about a couple of 100 yards away. It appeared to be 2.5 feet thick and maybe 12 to 16 feet wide. It was moving real slow, no sound. I yelled down to the guys and said, "What the F is that? A giant effing drone?" And all 5 guys, including my brother, turned and looked right at it. And one guy said, "Yeah, that's a drone." And they all turned back to fishing. What the F? I don't know, but do we have silent drones that big that I don't know about? I had my phone in my lap, and I didn't even think to take a picture. I found myself, I don't know how long later, staring at the creek and thought about what we saw. It wasn't there, so I walked out to the mouth of the creek to see where it went. It was about a half a mile away, so I took a picture. Sorry about the long email. I'll save the other what the F for another time. Questions for them. Without sounding stupid, or beginning to think that you could just ask some questions outright, getting past that, if I could ask them straight out, number 1, do your people remember the Great Flood? Number 2, do they understand geography? For instance, showing them a globe and showing them you are here. Are you able to anywhere on this planet Are you able to go anywhere on this planet instantly through these portals, on Earth or off? Number 4, what is your connection to aliens? Number 5, who or what is taking humans? Number 6, do they know of dogmen? Oh, hold on. Number 7, then your email chopped off and you sent me another email and I have it underneath next, but only it goes straight to number 8. So question number 7 was omitted. Question number 8, do you have rules when it comes to harming humans? Question number 9. How long have you lived here? Number 10. What do you know of the one true creator? This is without sounding like a total effing idiot and getting past communication barrier. Steve, I personally would like to say thank you for everything you have done and what you are doing. From feeding hungry people to filling in the gaps in our puzzles, it's a huge relief to finally find a place of truth. This world needs a lot more of that. Thank you. And you can use my name, Dondi Kilbury, lifetime member. And a question for the table. Can anyone confirm the 3 raptor-like claws on the back feet of a dogman? That's an odd question. Can anyone confirm the 3 raptor-like claws on the back feet of dogman? There you go. Questions out there. If you got an answer for that, throw down in the comment section below, I'm guessing. Yeah. You know what? That's actually not a bad question, because all the people that have claimed to have seen these dogman described beings, I usually have a pretty good memory. My brain can't recall somebody saying, yeah, we went and cast the footprints right away later, and this is what they look like, and then showed us 3-toed with big claws. I don't think anybody's done that. If they have, or if you have, well, send it in. If you want to share it with all the people through me, I'll do it. And there you go. Right? There you go. Another member of the Club of No Return. Hey, Steve, this might be a puzzle piece. All right, let's see. Hey there. Prayers for Sarah's recovery and your possible surgery. Blessings to all your loved ones. Thank you for the kind words. Appreciate that. Okay, here's the thought. Some have alleged that the Sasquatch are actually inside trees, at the very least peeking from behind one. Yet there is no way the trunk is big enough. And yet, one can't see the other part of the body. Just the shoulder or a bit of the head. And what about that story that a tall skeleton was found inside a tree? I can't remember if loggers found it. Yeah, it was a logger. And that story is really hammered a clear place on the shelf in my brain. I think about that one often. Okay, so I was just watching a Buckin' Billy Ray video from about a year ago, and he was cutting down a 4-foot on the stump deciduous tree. It had a beetle infestation. Water came out, and he said it's the stinkiest, gosh awful smell, and that he had to hang his pants outside for 3 days. Seems like males can emit an odor from all the evidence gathered, but what if they sometimes might just have a stinky home? Just a thought that struck me. My dad, rest in peace, used to have an index card on the fridge. It was a Latin phrase that translated to, quote, "Don't let the bastards grind you down," end quote. The road may be long and full of perils, but truth, love, and compassion can never be defeated. Never, ever, ever. Let them do what they may. It may look like they are winning, but their doom is sure, lest they chase. Keep on rocking, Steve, and how to hunt. Keep on loving no matter what. From Jen in Vermont. Jen? You're awesome, Jen. You're awesome. Your words are awesome. What a great message. I appreciate you sending that. Never let them grind you down. Absolutely agree. Keep fighting back. Good questions. I don't know about the smell. I don't know. I think what I do know about the scent, what I feel, I think I have an idea about the scent, is it is definitely intentionally used, directed at us, without a doubt. That's what I think. Praying for a Miracle is the title of this email. Dear Steve, thank you for being a voice of truth. My sister Missy in Ohio has been battling a genetic autoimmune disease, PSC, for 20 years. My brother and I have also, but our switch hasn't flipped. Missy always believed when the time came she would be able to get a liver transplant. Cancer appeared as she was going through radiation and chemo. They now say nothing they can do. There was one story told about a man who had cancer, not much time to live, and he went out in the woods and something about apricot seeds. It had been 5 years now. I believe the terror in a hammock. I'm reaching out to all the truth seekers. God works through people in prayers. God bless and keep you and Sarah. Thank God. Thank for all you do. Cindy Garver, Tennessee. Cindy, I'm not going to be able to count for certain, but I would guarantee you there's going to be thousands of prayers being sent over in the next few seconds. This is airing. Without a doubt. That's how this place works. And the power of prayer is something else. 100% it is. So, if we can all come together and say a prayer for this person, then we can make a difference that way, right? On my first-hand experience with the power of prayer, I was laying in my what was told to me was my deathbed in a foreign country. Doctor said flat out, you're going to be dead in 2 days. All right. And then I was texting a handful of friends saying, hey, I'm out here. And I texted also, I also contacted a bunch of my friends who are members of various churches from northern BC, northern Alberta, all the way down to Mississippi and Alabama. And that's where people were praying for me from, all over frickin' North America in those next 24 hours. And all I know is that doctor told me I was going to be dead probably in 2 days. And then they're counting my blood platelets as they're dropping. And then when you go into the 30s, from 150 or whatever we normally run up, is when your organs go into shock and then you pass away. And then I made it to the 30s. And I'm like, I was just basically laying there thinking, once I absolutely I accepted the fact I'm dying. Okay, I'm good. And I think I showed this before. I was getting excited. I was actually getting stoked. I was like, this is going to be the craziest ride of all. Obviously, I've been avid in seeking adventure and thrills and fun and danger. And I was remember thinking, oh, this is going to be the craziest ride ever. I wonder where I'm going. This is going to be wild. I remember looking up at the ceiling and around me and saying, okay, I'm ready. I'm ready to go. Let's go. And I remember thinking, am I going to be awake when I go? Am I going to be gone before lunchtime? Breakfast? Or tonight? What a bizarre place to be in your mind, right? I'm not the only one that's been there, but I remember sitting there wondering, when am I going to go? Lunchtime? I wonder if I'll make it to dinner. I'm going to be awake? I wonder if I'm going to be asleep when I die. This is going to be crazy. And then they came back in when I was going to be, allegedly, I was going to be gone any minute. And then the doctor says, oh, your blood platelets went back up to 42. You're going to live. I'm like, oh, no way. Anyways, what I'm getting at is just the night before, the day before, that I put out a slight request. Said, hey, you know what? If you got it in you, I might possibly need a little prayer right now. See if I'm able to hang out a little longer. That's what I did. Here I am, still annoying the world. So, the power of prayer. Requested here, you shall receive. Question for email read. March 9th, 2024. Are you ready for this email title? All right. That's yesterday's big one, right? Or day before? Whatever. Hi, Steve. I just listened to your video. March 9th, 2024. I'd really appreciate your asking the gentleman, since he remarked on the Anunnaki, if in his opinion the Jehovah or Yahweh, pronounced Yahweh, in the Bible is really Enlil. I've spent 30 years reading all I can find on the subject of Jehovah and the Anunnaki, and would really love the answer to this question. It would make a huge difference in my understanding of life, history, and the scriptures. Appreciate all you do for our online family. I have a Sabe experience just 2 feet away from me that I will send in ASAP. Thanks, and keep up the good work you're doing. You can use my name, Judith Hayes, Tennessee. Judith, your question has been shared. Appreciate you emailing in and sharing that you are digging and your wheels are turning. And I'm looking forward to hearing your close-up encounter. Too bad you didn't send it with this email. All right, now. What else we got? Mark, this is red. Exact same experiences and why. Hello, Steve. Thank you for being you. You can use my name, Deborah. I've been listening since your very first video relating your experiences with the Sabe. When I was young, I loved being in the wilderness. However, now I am disabled, and your videos are a connection with the wilderness I love. Thank you. I'm sorry I tried to make this as short as I could, but it needed the continuity of thought. Otherwise, I would have needed to have sent more than one email. No apologies required. And I'm sorry you can't go out there anymore, and I will try to go out a lot more and video more for you and everybody else. I'll make a point of it. People contact you because they trust and respect your integrity. Strong masculine leadership with integrity is severely lacking in our countries. We desperately need those with integrity and honor to fight/lead us out of this political shit show that compromised evil people have created. The quote, point of no return, end quote, reality. If people haven't been there, they just don't know. You can't make people see something they haven't or don't want to see. My sister lives in forested northern Michigan, where there have been multiple Sabe and dogman encounters within a few miles of her house. She took me out on a remote forest track to show me a trail. The area did not feel clear of entities. She did not understand my hesitance about being alone in a remote place. I am a feminine, petite woman, and I can tell when I'm somewhere I shouldn't be without protection. I think we all can, actually. Just not too many people have the ear to listen to themselves compared to others. However, I will fight like a wildcat to defend my home and family. I will not go down without a fight. No doubt. I have experienced on a natural and spiritual level what people experience with Sabe. Imposed terror, unexplained paralysis, mind speak, glowing eyes, entities physically interacting with me with unwanted intrusions, physical and mental, into my life with fear/dread projected onto me. It shakes you to the core. I was previously very unprotected. I have experienced them trying to lure me into a dangerous direction. I've experienced portals to where I needed to take spiritual authority to make my body/spirit come back to the natural realm. The portal/mind speak were especially scary because they border on the edge of our reality. Early on, it was ongoing, and I did not talk with people about it because I did not want people to think I was crazy. But it was really happening, and I needed to find a way to make it stop. And I was desperate, without anyone to understand or help. I was young, inexperienced, and did not know how to make a stop. I now believe that there are dimensions beyond what average humans are aware of, and Sabe interact with us, /have access to, /out of, and being, and between those dimensions. I believe the spiritual dimensions are much broader than Sabe. Sabe are the tip of the iceberg. I was able to stop the fear/paralysis, unwanted intrusions, and the entities' unwanted physical interactions into my life without me fighting, saying, quote, no, shut up, go away, I forbid it, I cut off your interaction with me, end quote. The Sabe's physical body is its connection to have access to interact on this planet. Our body is our earth suit connection to this planet. Our body is our meat bag natural anchor for the legal spiritual connection between our true spiritual being and the natural side of this planet. That is why First Nations people have more knowledge/understanding about Sabe. They are more attuned spiritually than Western civilizations to the spiritual realm. I apologize about people who have been douchebags with you about spiritual things. Regretfully, I have encountered them myself. However, other good people contact you because they appreciate your honor and integrity and care about you and love you. We are foremost spiritual beings. As long as we follow and obey immutable spiritual laws, Sabe can be impelled to obey us within our immediate sphere. That is why they are afraid of us. That is why some people go missing and some do not. It depends on how the people are connected to the spiritual realm. We potentially have greater spiritual power than they on the spiritual realm when we follow and obey immutable spiritual law. Average people don't make the connection that the same... Oh, hold on a second. Average people don't make the connection that the same as there are immutable natural laws in effect, that there are also immutable spiritual laws in effect. Breaking either has consequences. Take it or leave it. What sealed the deal and was decisively effective for me was the name Jesus and me following him and giving him my life. The entities must obey. Then he has the authority to work with me and activate his authority on my behalf. On earth, Jesus will never impose himself against your will. He will work with you, only if invited. Especially at first, the entities tested the boundaries hard to see if I would cave, but I stood my ground speaking, saying no. I learned about and exercised my spiritual authority in the spiritual realm. I am now free of the harassment. In my case, I sincerely care about and genuinely love you both. I am in the grandma category, so Sarah hopefully will be okay with it. I'm sure she's all right. Respectfully, with love for both of you and Sarah, Auntie Deborah. Now here's another one at the bottom. It's up to you if you want to read this out. A, the answer to why. Evil people desperately want revelation of truth to be suppressed. Evil people desperately want regular people to stay dumbed down, suppressed, because that empowers them. /evil. If regular people truly understood the breadth and depth of spiritual power available to them through Jesus, truly good people would annihilate, destroy, and remove evil. Evil is terrified of the unrealized spiritual power of good people. Dumbed down, passive, ignorant, sheeple people are powerless, and evil is then free to continue its narcissistic, psychopathic, corrupt ways. B, spiritual needs physical bodies to access the earth realm out of the other spiritual dimensions. Spiritual have access to more dimensions than humans do. We can only access 4. They have access up to 10 to 11 dimensions. Sabe have physical bodies. This gives them the ability to interact here on earth and to come and go between the other dimensions. C, a root focus of evil is the destruction of children. Children are the future of the human race, our heritage, our culture, everything. No children, and humanity is done after 50 years. The destruction of children empowers evil. Adrenochrome is part of that. Thank you for listening. I wish you all the best. Keep up the good work. All right. I absolutely appreciate you sending that to us, Deborah. There's a lot of kind, wise words in there. Obviously, there's going to be a handful of people who are going to be shaking their head. Did you just say, Jesus, I'm out? Well, that's weak. It's weak to just shut people off at the knee-jerk trigger of a word or a name. It's wrong. You got to listen. We all got to listen to each other. That's what I'm doing. That's what we have been doing. That's why this is big power. Excuse me, this place is big power. All because of all the people that come here and speak truth. It's big power. Look what happened. We just decided, this place decided in the 10th of a second. One decision in the 10th of a second as an example of the power from all the people here speaking and speaking freely and truthfully and being free here to a point. Drop of a second. We fed over 57 people healthy food for upwards of 2 weeks, each person. Just like that, one split decision. I'm just giving you guys the example of the power you accumulate and generate and create and harness for the good when good people come together in high numbers. That's true. You can't deny that. Also, patterns in the email. We have had basically so far 100% of all people who've had one of these non-requested, didn't ask for it, shitty experiences. So far, 100% of the people who had those experiences and used the name of Jesus to shut it down, it worked. It doesn't matter my stance on that topic. It doesn't matter at all. It doesn't matter anybody's stance on the topic. The fact is, that is a pattern in our face here. Thousands of people from around the world not connected in any way. Take from it what you will or leave it, but it's a strong pattern, right? Mention the children. One thing I was thinking about and talking about with Sarah this morning actually was the same thing about the children and all the horseshit that's going on. There's a lot of people, like I've voiced my frustration in not being able to wipe out the evil myself. I would do anything. If it was proven to work, I would do anything to help rid the bad ones. But anyway, but one thing I can share with all of you and encourage all of you to do, if you feel helpless and frustrated at what's going on, doesn't matter where you are and you have children, all you have to do is teach your children the truth. That's it. That's all you got to do. Pretty simple, isn't it? But unfortunately, with what has been imposed on society, communities, it's a tough thing to do because they already have a grip of the kids, right? The second they walk out that door, they got them. The second they, I think this next generation was basically raised by an iPad on average, right? Because both parents have got to work like dogs. But anyway, if you want to change, all you have to do is teach the children the truth and teach them to not knee-jerk. I don't want to hear about politics. That's the most, as I sit back outside the bubble and look in, I watch what's going down. Just picture it. I said this before. You're a criminal. You really need all those people out there to do whatever you want, right? No matter how extreme it is. I really need all those people to do what I want. Okay, let's just say you finally get all those people doing what you want. And then you realize, if they start talking amongst themselves, then they're going to out me and I'm going to be screwed. I'm going to lose my power. So now I'm going to make sure that all those people over there, if anybody in that group of people over there that's doing what I want them to do starts talking to me in a negative way, I'm going to convince the majority of that group of people over there to say, I don't want to talk about politics. What a genius move. What a genius move. Could you imagine violating the shit out of a group of people? And on top of it, conditioning them to knee-jerk to not want to talk about you while they're being raped by you. Wow. What a genius move, right? If that is your goal, to manipulate and control a whole pile of innocent people and steal the majority of their lifetime from them, and you make them not want to talk about you at the same time? Holy shit, who came up with that recipe? In the training manual handbook of how to be a world-dominating douchebag. And I'll tell you what, it is that simple. You take away the power from the bad people, they're nothing. It's all your power. You just take it away from them. Here's an example. Like, if you could give me, I don't give a shit who it is, you can give me any world leader right now, any one of them. Give me one of them. I'll take them into the mountains in the middle of nowhere. Nice, warm, sunny day. I don't give a shit what it is. I'll take them into the mountains with me, strip them down to their frickin' underwear, and make them stand over there by themselves. And then just stand there and look at them and watch them. Watch them break down into tears, not knowing what to do. They can't do shit. They're nothing. Nothing. Just a crumbling, sorry, sad example of a living being on the face of this planet. Any Western manipulative monster leader right now, corporate monster, I don't give a shit who it is. What I'm saying is, you take any of these people who are becoming what they are because of what they've taken from the people, from you, and you make them stand there by themselves, right there. Give them to me. I will guarantee you, I'd bet my life on it, I would make every single one of them break down crying like a frickin' fragile little 3-year-old kid who lost his mommy in the parking lot. 110% of them. They're nothing. Without you, they're nothing. So anyways, getting back to how you do change and you're frustrated, I can't do anything. I gotta work. You can. All you have to do is teach your children the truth. Point out who the bad players are. Make sure you ingrain it in your child's minds and eyes who are the bad people and what exactly they are doing to their community. And you teach all the children that. And don't stop pummeling that into their heads. The truth, right? You go the opposite route of what they have done to get to where they are now. They get a hold of us at a young age and pump it into us and pump it into us and pump it into us. Make us repeat, make us repeat, make us repeat, or you're a failure, make us repeat. If you can't do anything at all, show your children who the guilty players are. Sit them down, no matter how much they don't want to be involved in the topic. Doesn't matter, and drill it into them. Exactly what these people have done and are doing. That's all you have to do. That's all you have to do. There you go. I gotta go. I gotta text from Sarah. We gotta go to the hospital. I think it's probably good to go get her prescription for pain relief. I'm gonna get her taken care of. Then I'm gonna come home, and hopefully I'm gonna launch my book to the world, to the outdoor community, and share all my stories and experiences and my knowledge. And I'll be back tomorrow. Everybody be safe. Share my story at howtohunt.com. Tell my story at howtohunt.com. And tell your children the absolute truth of what's going on today. And don't stop. Maybe even turn it around. Make them have a quiz after dinner every day to tell you what they learned today about the truth. All right? And next thing you know, hopefully one day, everybody on the face of the planet will be having the most unbelievable, amazing, fun, healthy, electrifying, awesome, great time ever for their whole life. Imagine that. And there's not one solid excuse why every one of us isn't in that position right now. You can't give me one excuse why we aren't. There is none acceptable. I'm really rambling today, aren't I?